seems to be perfectly enough.
Less than a week to go before the deadline for the payment of the €100 household charge, but only around 20% of the 1.6 million liable households have so far paid up. Now, this weekend, around 3,000 people attended a protest rally against the charge, and there's confirmation that council staff will knock on doors to look for the money if it's not paid on time. Micheál Lehane has this report.
The overwhelming desire to own them, in some cases many of them, contributed to the country's economic downfall. Now a tax on homes has the potential to give the government its biggest austerity headache yet.
We must draw the line now and say that we will not end up in a situation like the people in Greece.
In December 1996, as a result of a magnificent 3-year campaign of boycott and keep power, we forced the abolition by the Labour and Fine Gael government of water taxes all over this country. People power won. We will win again on this nefarious.
The government side was equally impassioned this weekend.
I have children as well. I have family. We all have family. We all want them to be working here in Ireland. We want the country to get back on its feet. And we have to make tough, difficult decisions. This is one of them. It's tough for you, and we know that. But do it, because if you don't, we're not going to make it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to all our people.
The money raised from this charge will fund local councils. But some from Fine Gael and Labour on those very councils are far from happy.
The unhappiness stems from a couple of things. I don't think it's necessarily the €100 this year, but it's the fear and the apprehension of what may happen next year. If you take Dún Laoghaire, for example, you have a lot of very large houses where there are quite elderly people on a very limited income living, and they're afraid of the talk that's going on about the size of the house or the size of the site, and they may not have the income to meet what they had maybe 20 or 30 years ago.
I think I'd have to accept it has been poorly handled. We're not going to have full compliance by this day week. There will be a huge rush to pay by the end of next week, but there has to be another plan B, and that I think there should be. People will be told there will be a 2-week extension, and that will be the end of it.
The government says it has no more money to give to local authorities to keep things neat and tidy on the streets, so it needs the household charge to have enough cash available to do just that. Even the party who signed up to the charge is calling for more time.
There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Big Phil is watching you. He will make you pay. That seems to be the mantra emanating from the government. And I'm sure you will agree, Taoiseach, that approach is simply not working. My party will be bringing forward legislation, very simple legislation, to amend the Act to extend the deadline to the end of September.
There aren't going to be hundreds of thousands of people taken to court, and everybody knows that. There is a situation where the charge is not paid by the deadline. There will be an incurring of the fee, a penalty fee, and there will be an incurring of interest rate, as is normal with unpaid tax.
All of this comes on a week where the government hailed a victory in their efforts to get more time to pay back the Anglo-Irish bank debt.
The key benefits of these proposals would be to reduce the 2012 cash outflow from the state by 3.06 billion through settling with the delivery of a long-term government bond.
But despite this optimism, the deal was not rubber-stamped by the European Central Bank on Thursday. And even if it does get the green light, some are less than optimistic about its hoped-for positive impact on the country's finances.
I would give a guarded welcome to what Minister Noonan has arranged, because all he's done basically is he's transformed what was a challengeable debt into what is now clearly a sovereign debt from which there will be no escape. There is no escape whatever from this, and the amounts involved in the savings will be about 120 million a year. That's it. So let's not exaggerate it. It's a small move, but we should be very careful of giving it an unguarded welcome.
Even more worrying for the government, though, are the signs that the widespread meek acceptance of austerity that underpinned their negotiations in Europe could be about to end.